America's turning off the spigot when it comes to Bud Light. But what does that mean? That its stock price, I guess, has gone down between $6 and $8 billion in like a week, 2 weeks?
Since March 31st, I think is when the campaign, the branding campaign went live, March 30th or 31st. Market cap means how many shares outstanding times the price of the share, and shares have slid in a market, by the way, that's gone up. The S&P is up in that same period of time. Then the NASDAQ is up. The Dow Jones is up in that period of time since March 31st. AB Anheuser-Busch has dropped $7 billion, to be real, $7 billion in market cap. And that's a big drop. And it has to be attributed to, if you look at the chart, I watch the chart every day. It was up and down, but it's fairly steady. On that day when the backlash started to happen, people started selling shares in that stock. No question about it. They were concerned about the imminent backlash, which actually has arrived. And then when that vice president, I guess the person who had this idea to put Dylan Mulvaney as their brand ambassador on, when the video emerged of her, now it happened, the video came of her was prior to the Dylan thing, but when she was talking about Bud Light being a fratty brand, well, hell yeah, it's a fratty brand. Guess what? Guess who your main customers are? Frat houses and people who wish they were still in the frat house, and you alienate your base to have some sort of diversity, I don't know, cred. It's insane. So yeah, $7 or $8 billion of market cap in a market that has been going up. And by the way, it's not all beers. Miller Lite is owned by Molson Coors. Their market cap has gone up by about $1 billion.
Oh, so it's so interesting because like this is not something you can get back, right? So it's like, I really want to buy my Bud Light, but I'm just going to punch them for a month, and then I'm going to buy 2 times the Bud Light in June just to make it up, right? No, the months are gone. The opportunity to drink the Bud Light has passed. So even if there's some way of these guys repairing the relationship with their customer base, those sales, because this is separate from the market cap, the sales are gone. The bottom line is being hurt day after day, and it's not going to get any better.
Right, you're right. Sales eventually you will see in the next quarter, next maybe 45 days, you'll see the slide in sales, and that'll put further pressure on the stock price. Absolutely, for sure. So the smart investors, the big money, the hedge funds who know what's going on, when they see these things happen, they get out first. That drives the price down. When the earnings come out, then the retail investors start saying, wait a minute, that doesn't look going forward. It'll put more pressure on the stock. I would not buy Anheuser-Busch stock right now, no matter what they say. Even if they say, we're just kidding about Dylan Mulvaney, we're still fratty, I still wouldn't buy that stock.
We're still just as fratty as ever. Yeah. They went from fratty to catty. So what do you think? I mean, do you think that this is a potential watershed moment in this whole go woke, go broke discussion?
So
could other companies be watching this?
Yeah, I think they all are, Megyn, but I don't think I'm not sure they care, because we saw the same thing happen with Major League Baseball a couple of years ago with the All-Star game. They continue, Disney fighting Ron DeSantis down here in Florida. And yet these things still happen. There's still, and I've said this, I've pinpointed this, that it's the corporate boardroom that will tell us when the pendulum has swung too far in the direction in favor of diversity. I thought it was a year ago. I was wrong. It looks like it's continuing now. Maybe this is it. So when celebrities like Kid Rock and others start to go public with their distaste for a brand or the brand messaging, then it starts to move the needle. It's not until the boardroom, though. It's the boardroom. For some reason, on these corporate boards, they are so concerned about the diversity card. There's this thing called the CEI, the Corporate Equity Index, Corporate Equity Index. And it's something that these liberals push around Wall Street saying, hey, what's your index? Where are you? And if it's too low, well, you're not diverse enough. You're not doing your part. And for some reason, boardrooms who should only be concerned about share prices, stockholder value, shareholder value, share prices, the only concern a board should have is somehow now getting into, let's find out what the environment's ESG stuff, which is environment, social, and governance, which is another index. They worry about these things, and they're foolish to do it. I think we're going to look back 20 years from now and look back and go, what a stupid time that was.
Experts say that China is hoarding a massive amount of food, that they will soon have over 2/3 of the globe's corn reserves, over half of its rice, and half of its wheat. But when asked about it, China misleads. One China expert says they, of course, would never admit to something like that. Well, what does China know that we do not? Why are they doing this? When it comes to global food shortages, China is, they say, the canary in the coal mine. You see, China is the world's #1 food importer. They rely on the rest of the world to keep their people fed, so they can't afford to mess this up or there will be riots, civil panic, or worse. That's why it's a smart idea to stock up on a kit of the best-selling 4 Patriots survival food. Create your own stockpile of the best-selling 4 Patriots survival food kits. Hand-packed in the USA, the kits are compact and stack easily. They have different delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, and their 5-star reviews on the website rave about the flavor and the taste. Right now, you can get 10% off your first purchase of 4, the numeral 4 Patriots survival food by typing in the code MK at checkout. Just go to the numeral 4 Patriots.com, okay, 4patriots.com, and use code MK to get 10% off your first purchase of 4 Patriots survival food. 4patriots.com. Use that code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.